I don't wish it on him, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? I don't wish it on him. And I love him through it. Whatever he going through, I love him through it. Much criticism as I receive about my son, I would like to shed light on the fact.
Atlanta's night was supposed to be calm, but at 3 a.m., the silence was shattered by news no parent ever wants to hear. King Harris, the son of rap legend T.I. and Tiny, was clinging to life inside a hospital ICU. His frail body was strapped to machines, his heartbeat dropping with every second as doctors whispered the most chilling words, "Prepare for the worst." The Harris family's nightmare had just begun, and the entire hip-hop world was holding its breath. Inside Grady Memorial, fluorescent lights flickered, alarms screamed from the monitors, and doctors rushed frantically around his bed, fighting to keep him alive. This was not just a medical emergency. It felt like a scene ripped straight from a horror movie. And with every new leak, every new rumor, every revelation that hit the internet like a bomb, the story only grew darker. Tiny, King's mother, completely collapsed in the hospital hallway. Her screams echoed down the corridors, her body trembling so violently that nurses had to hold her up. That heartbreaking moment was caught on camera and spread like wildfire across social media, leaving millions of fans across the globe in tears. Hashtags like "Pray for King" and "Justice for King Harris" shot straight to the top of worldwide trends within minutes. But while the world grieved with the Harris family, shocking details began to surface that twisted this tragedy into something far more sinister. According to a leaked medical report, King's injuries were not the result of a simple jailhouse fight. Insiders claimed his body carried marks of calculated torture, patterns too precise, too cruel to be explained by fists or kicks. This was not just violence. This was a message. Someone wanted him broken, maybe even erased forever. Then came the audio leak that sent chills across the country. In a grainy clip, a prison guard's voice could be heard whispering, "The order came from above. We just cleared the way." That single line flipped the internet upside down. Who gave the order? Who wanted King Harris silenced so badly that they turned his beating into something resembling a planned execution?
Try to take the good with the bad and just let them know. You go into prison if you keep it up.
The internet did not waste a second. Fans, bloggers, and conspiracy hunters pointed in every direction. Rival gangs, industry enemies, even powerful figures in politics and the prison system. Some whispered this was not even about King at all, but a warning meant to crush the entire Harris family. Just as people thought the nightmare had peaked, an even darker rumor hit social media. A supposed ICU surveillance clip claimed to show masked men slipping into King's hospital room at night, hands reaching for his life support machines. If that tape is real, then even surrounded by doctors and guards, King was never safe. Bigger forces clearly wanted him gone. Outside Grady Memorial, the atmosphere was electric and dangerous. Crowds gathered with candles, chanting, "Protect King!" Some prayed with tears streaming down their faces, while others shouted for justice. The grief in the air was heavy, but so was the rage. Inside, T.I. was a shell of himself. The rapper who once carried the weight of Atlanta on his shoulders now trembled in the hospital halls. Cameras caught him with cracked voice and shaking hands, pleading, "My son is being hunted like he's some kind of enemy." He's just a kid. "Somebody please stop this." The clip went viral in seconds. Millions rallied behind him, but others mocked, saying this was karma for T.I.'s own past. The internet split down the middle, turning a private tragedy into public theater. Then came the leak that froze everyone cold. An anonymous source released a blurry hospital feed showing two hooded figures sneaking into King's ICU at 2:47 a.m. One crouched near the machines while the other kept watch by the door. The video cut out before showing what they did, but the message was clear. King's fight for life was being sabotaged. Nurses whispered they no longer trusted the safety of the ward. One whistleblower revealed King's ventilator mysteriously shut off for several seconds earlier that night, alarms blaring. Yet the official footage of that moment had vanished from records. Was it a glitch or deliberate cover-up? Nobody could say. But the internet roared with accusations of powerful players pulling strings to bury the truth. The Harris family's anguish only deepened. Tiny was caught on camera collapsing outside the ICU, wailing, "Don't take my baby. Please don't take him from me." That video ripped through TikTok and Instagram, breaking hearts worldwide. Meanwhile, T.I.'s pain boiled into rage. Witnesses said he smashed a chair, punched walls, and screamed at staff, accusing the hospital of protecting his son's killers. Security had to intervene, but by then the damage was done. His fury was already everywhere online, painting the picture of a father battling not just death, but an entire system. As if the storm needed more fuel, whispers surfaced that King's blood carried foreign toxins, chemicals unrelated to the jail beating and not part of any medical treatment. Was he being poisoned in the very place meant to heal him? Hacker groups claimed they had hacked hospital files, posting messages like, "They're not saving King, they're finishing him." Fans erupted across the globe, convinced this was no accident, but a deliberate operation backed by serious power. By nightfall, protests outside the hospital exploded. Demonstrators clashed with riot police. Smoke filled the streets, and Atlanta turned into a battleground over one young man's life. Live streams captured every tear, every scream, every clash. Millions watching in real time as the city burned with grief and fury. By sunrise, this was no longer just about a teenager fighting for his life. It had become a war of narratives. Some claimed King was paying for his father's sins. Others swore he was the victim of an industry plot to silence him before he spoke. The truth was buried under leaks, rumors, and chaos. What nobody could deny was this: King Harris was caught in the eye of a storm far bigger than him. A storm threatening not only his life, but his entire family, and maybe even the industry itself. As dawn crept over Atlanta, the nightmare deepened. King's condition slipped from critical, but stable, into something far more terrifying. Doctors whispered of organ failure. Nurses rushed trays of drugs in and out of the ICU. And every shrill beep from the machines strapped to King's body echoed like a death toll in the hearts of his family. At 5 a.m., T.I. and Tiny were pulled into a small room and given the kind of words no parent should ever have to hear. "If he does not show improvement soon, we may need to talk about letting him go." That single line shattered their world. Tiny collapsed to the floor, screaming so loud that nurses said her cries shook the entire wing. Witnesses claimed she fainted and had to be treated herself. A hidden recording of her breakdown leaked online within hours, spreading across millions of feeds. The world did not just see her grief, it felt it, raw, unfiltered, like everyone was watching a mother's soul being ripped apart in real time. But the nightmare kept getting darker. A confidential report surfaced, revealing that King's bloodstream carried traces of a mysterious substance, something no doctor had prescribed. Analysts ruled out common drugs, calling it deliberate sabotage. Someone had poisoned him through his IV lines while he lay helpless in that hospital bed. The revelation went viral instantly, sparking hashtags like #ICU breach and protect King Harris. Fans demanded answers. How could one of hip-hop's most famous sons, lying in one of Atlanta's top hospitals, be so vulnerable? Within hours, another alleged leak sent chills across the internet. A blurry CCTV clip appeared to show two hooded figures entering King's ICU room at 2:47 a.m. One crouched near his bed, while the other stood watch at the door. The video cut out before showing what they did, but the message was clear. Whoever wanted King gone was not stopping at the jail walls. They had followed him into the hospital. Outside, chaos erupted. Crowds filled the streets with candles, posters reading, "Justice for King," and chants echoing through the night. Helicopters hovered above as riot police formed barricades. The hospital no longer looked like a place of healing. It looked like a war zone. News crews swarmed, cameras catching every tear, every argument, every scream. The Harris family's private tragedy was being consumed by the entire world. Inside, the stress fractured the family itself. Tiny's relatives reportedly accused T.I. of cursing the family with his past life choices. T.I., red-eyed and furious, snapped back, "This ain't karma. This is murder." The outburst was caught on camera and went viral instantly, splitting the internet even further. Some believed King was the innocent target of a conspiracy, while others cruelly argued the Harris family was paying for old sins. Then, another chilling leak dropped like a bomb. An anonymous call, allegedly tied to a high-ranking prison official, was posted online. In the muffled audio, a voice said, "If the boy talks, everything collapses. He can't leave that bed alive." That single line sent shockwaves through the culture. Suddenly, fans believed King was not just attacked for who his father was. They believed he carried secrets powerful enough to get him silenced forever. T.I., broken and sleepless, stood outside the hospital, telling reporters, "My son is a victim of a system that would rather bury him than protect him. This is not an accident. This is a plan." His words divided the internet once again. Some rallied behind him, while others accused him of chasing sympathy. But one fact was undeniable. The Harris family was living through hell while the entire world watched. Inside the ICU, things only got worse. A whistleblower nurse revealed that King's ventilator had mysteriously shut off for several seconds before alarms rang. When staff checked the footage for answers, the files were missing, completely erased. Coincidence or cover-up? Fans had no doubts. Social media screamed cover-up, drowning in theories ranging from mafia revenge to jealous rappers to government silencing. Even celebrities could not stay quiet. Cardi B went live in tears. "That baby don't deserve this. I don't care what y'all think about his daddy. Pray for King." Snoop Dogg cryptically warned, "The industry ain't what it seems. Protect your kids. They after all of us." His words sent shivers across social media, as if confirming fans' darkest fears that something much bigger, much darker was unfolding behind the scenes. Meanwhile, the hospital looked less like a clinic and more like a fortress. Security tripled, police in riot gear lined the halls. Doctors whispered phrases no parent should ever hear: multi-organ failure and irreversible damage. T.I. lost control completely. Witnesses said he smashed a chair against a wall, screaming at doctors, "Don't tell me to let go. You're lying. You're not doing enough." His outburst terrified staff, but showed just how shattered he truly was. Tiny never left King's side, clutching his hand until nurses had to pry her back. By morning, the storm outside had grown from hundreds to thousands of protesters, chanting louder, crying harder, demanding justice. The city looked like it was under siege. Inside, doctors delivered the cruelest update. King had been declared clinically dead for nearly 2 minutes before doctors shocked his heart back to life. A whistleblower claimed they had to use electric paddles twice just to restart his pulse. That revelation broke millions of hearts. Fans sobbed, horrified at the thought of a young man pulled from death itself. While conspiracy theorists insisted someone was deliberately keeping him trapped between life and death. Anonymous hackers fanned the flames further, leaking hospital files showing traces of foreign toxins in King's blood. They left a chilling note. They're not saving King, they're finishing him. The streets outside erupted, clashes breaking out between protesters and police. Tear gas filled the air as live streams broadcast the chaos worldwide. Even fellow artists poured gasoline on the fire. 50 Cent accused industry snakes of orchestrating the attack. Meek Mill tweeted, "They tried to silence the next generation before it starts. This ain't no accident." Kanye West added, "This is what happens when you say no to them. They punish your bloodline." Each statement made fans more convinced this was not just an attack. It was a full-blown assassination attempt, backed by powerful forces. As the day dragged on, leaks kept multiplying. Some swore King had been working on unreleased music that named powerful industry figures, and that was the real reason he was targeted. Others insisted government officials ordered the hit. Theories grew more extreme, and the internet was no longer just following the story. It was writing it, shaping the narrative minute by minute, leak by leak. By late evening, a final chilling clip spread across the web. A supposed ICU camera feed showed 2 masked men standing outside King's hospital door, one holding a small black case. Conspiracy accounts swore it contained poison or equipment to tamper with his machines. Whether real or fake, the video went viral instantly, convincing millions King was still under attack, even inside the hospital walls. That night, T.I. stepped outside to face the massive crowd. His face was streaked with tears, his body trembling, his voice cracking as he cried, "They told me to prepare for the worst." But how do you prepare for losing your child? My boy's in there fighting for his life while the world watches. Please, I'm begging you, pray harder than you ever prayed. He doesn't deserve this. The footage replayed millions of times, hailed as one of the rawest, most emotional moments of his career. But even as those words spread, darker whispers refused to die. Why did prison cameras fail during the attack? Who ordered the guards to stand down? Who erased the hospital footage? Every answer was buried under shadows. Doctors repeated the same phrase. The next 24 hours will decide everything. And so the world held its breath. King Harris's life hung by a thread, his family shattered, the city of Atlanta burning, and the hip-hop world divided. This was no longer just a tragedy. It had become one of the most chilling sagas the culture had ever seen.